Welcome back to what should be the final episode. I'm going to try to find some time at the end to go back and clean up some leftover quests I have, and then I'm going to talk about the build a little bit also. Now, is that another one of those helms? That's actually, yeah, it's a helm. I don't know why they're calling it a band. Froze up for a second. Black steel ingot. I'm assuming that's funny. I would have expected a quest update when I picked that up. There was nothing. So now, not sure what that's for, unless it's also part of that Master Craftsman. It said poetry meet. Let me take a look. The side quests. I know I still have some other parts here that I must have missed or didn't finish somehow. This is the only thing that's listed right now. Take the mead. Huh. I don't know. I don't know what the other stuff's for. Everything else shows that it's done. Unless I never got the quest, so it doesn't show in there at all. I suppose that's a possibility. Okay. Yeah, so they do need to optimize this a little bit better. It's freezing up a little too much. Throwing axe of lightning. Well, that's a pretty cool looking helm. I might end up throwing it out though. Taking up space, bleeding. Alright, so there's an of guile amulet, more or less. I think it's an amulet. Yeah, okay. And this throwing axe with lightning damage. Yeah, I'm just going to throw it on the ground. It's going to be in my way at some point. Killed another wolf. How did I miss that? God, I hate these things. They're a terror on the pets. God, try to stay alive. I'm pulling him out of there. Frozen. Okay. Yeah, they gotta fix that. I'm freezing up way too much. Alright, so when they put this expansion out, they removed some of the levels from Tower of Judgment, and it was kind of tedious. I always felt there was too many levels in there, but now they create this thing and it's full of levels again. So, I don't know, I don't really care for that design.
You're making a mistake!
Who said that? Stay here, dogs. Hold on, get back here. Not ready to go yet. Maybe just refresh the buff here.
I'll turn you to ash.
Really?
How did you get here?
Alright, so I don't know what this guy's power move is going to be, so I'm going to just try to stay away from everything. Oh, I didn't avoid that very well. Pets are dying. Come over here, pets. Ah, crap. I didn't want the pets to die. Judging by that music, that there's still something to go on, something going on here. Oh, hey, watch out! I'm trying to get my buffs on these guys, and crap, attacking.
You cannot open this door.
I'm not trying to open the door. Well, none of his attacks seem to do all that much damage. Kind of futile to try to keep the pets alive, I guess. I think they'd do okay if I had another couple items with some pet buffs.
You can't carry anymore.
Okay, I won't. Anything else down here? Don't look like it. Asgard. So I guess that was the end game boss. Didn't seem all that tough, but, you know, I'm sure he's a lot worse on Legendary.
Yours is a great deed, hero. No, more than that. You have saved us all. We stood fast and were able to beat back the Jotuns, but barely, and having suffered great losses. More giants pouring in through this portal would have been the final stab in the back that would have broken us. But thanks to you, Asgard stands triumphant. We'll see about Loki. One day he will receive his punishment, but for now his plan is foiled. His sinister allies dead or scattered. Don't worry too much about him. You know, you would be more than worthy to live here as one of my Einherjar. Come, Let us celebrate. I suppose the time has come for you to return to Midgard, and I'm looking forward to what the future of humanity will bring. Ragnarok has come and gone, but we're still here, thanks to you. Maybe it will come again one day. But you have proven that, even if some of it is not in our hands, our destiny is never set in stone. And I would be happy to fight by your side again. Farewell, vanquisher of ice and fire. May you remember us as friends.
Alright, I guess that's it. This must move me on to Epic. You know, I guess I have mixed feelings on this expansion. I mean, everybody likes new content. You got new armor, a new map. But I feel that it's too long. I don't like to complain too much about a game being long. I mean, generally, if you have a good game, you want it to be long. But a game like this, where you're really supposed to play through 3 times to complete it, it becomes tedious. As it was, Act 4 was a little bit tedious. Maybe if they made a shorter expansion, maybe something more like Act 2, which is, you know, goes pretty quick. But if you want to play through this from the start, you got 15 acts now, and this act is almost as long as 2 acts. So maybe I would have preferred if they made this an alternate ending. Instead of doing Act 4 Hades, you could go this route. Or that I like the Accomplished Hero where you can start at level 40, but I would prefer you start on Epic, skip normal altogether. So I don't know. I'm not real sure I like this too much. It does need a little work. I mean, overall, they did a good job with it, I think. It kind of is in line with the original game. But I don't know how much more I'm going to be playing. It might be time to move on to something else. I've got a couple other things I'm going to try to get done, though. But for right now, I'm going to go and finish up some of these leftover quests I have. I have a couple quests to finish up. I still have these rune tablets, and I missed that quest somewhere, but somebody left me a comment and told me where they go. And I also have the Mead of Poetry and this black steel ingot, and I believe those go together. So I'm going to turn these tablets in right now. So this is the Scandia portal, and we're going to have to go to the boat. And let me just check out one other thing. There's my side quests. Yeah, okay, the legendary craftsmanship. I don't even have a listing in here for where the rune tablets go, so I missed the quest giver. And the fir cone liquor, you don't actually find any of that, but it does. The quest does finish without it. Okay, so over here, this lady is the one we got to give these rune tablets to.
Amazing! Thank you, stranger. Do you see? These 2 tablets fit together to form something like a headstone with an inscription. Let me see.
So the reward for that is 2 skill points, so that's something you don't want to miss. And the other thing, I'm going to run over and do this turn-in, but I don't have an item I want to upgrade, so hopefully I don't screw the quest up by turning them in now. And this is Darklands. Okay, so I gave him the other mead already. Mead of Valhalla, I believe it was called. So now he wanted the Mead of Poetry. And I think he also needs this.
The mead of poetry. You really have it? Impossible. Let me have a taste. Yes. That really is it. I can feel it. We are in your debt, trespasser. And yes, we will make your item. It is just... we need a special ingredient to further improve items of epic or legendary quality. It is called black steel, and we don't have it. We didn't actually expect you to succeed. But, as you were even able to get the mead of poetry, maybe you could find us some of that too? Please.
Okay, so now he wants the ingot here.
You really managed to find some. Excellent. Let's begin at once. Let my hammer strike steel. You really managed to find some.
Oh, okay, so now I guess you just got to put the item in here.
Let's begin at once.
All right, so I'm not going to do
Let my
these,
hammer
but
strike steel.
just for an example. Now, I'm going to be leaving the game here at some point, and I hope this stays that way for when I come back next time, because I really didn't bring anything that I want upgraded yet. Okay, so I think that's all the quests, hopefully. So I want to go over this build a little bit. I know some people were asking me some questions about it. And so this character was already level 41 from a previous playthrough, but it was only one mastery. So I added the rune mastery to it. So I wasn't able to finish opening the trees up or filling out the mastery. I think it's a pretty good combination, nature and rune. And I didn't completely focus on the pets. I mean, you could go either way with that, I think, because I only had, I believe, 2 items that had pet affix on it. That ring and this razor claw. And at one point I was using a staff. But if you wanted to load up on pet affixes, you could probably really focus more on the pets and stand back. And there's some skills that would really work well with that. You have this wall here, and I know from a little bit of play I did on another character that this takes aggro pretty well. So if you threw that wall out there, it would grab aggro, and then the pets could kind of do their damage without pulling the aggro as much, so they wouldn't be taking as much damage. And then there's this part of it, the Guardian Stones, and I know these can also do damage, so that would like complement your pets pretty well. There's a nice shield up here, well, an energy shield more or less. They call it energy armor. That's pretty nice. I know it has a pretty big energy cost. And I wanted to get to transmutation, and I didn't have enough points to do it. That would turn my base damage for my weapons into elemental, and I would be like intelligence base, so that would boost the elemental damage. But here's some problems I'm going to run into, because I want to stay throwing. But the problem with throwing weapons is the biggest requirement is dexterity. So we have Rune Word Feather here that lowers the strength requirement pretty considerably, but there's nothing to lower dexterity. So with the high dexterity cost, I'm going to run into problems because I want to keep intelligence up to really boost that elemental damage, but I have to have enough dexterity to keep going with throwing weapons. So I'm going to start dumping my points into dexterity now and sacrifice some intelligence. So it's going to be kind of a hard balance. And I may end up going dual wield at some point. If I go to dual wield, I won't have to have as much strength for the shield, because I think the strength requirements for shield would probably be higher than it is for the throwing weapons. So what else do I want to take out of there? And the Rune Word Explode, I think will be better once there's more points in it, because right now I only have enough points so that it triggers only 7%, 7% chance to be used, but I think that goes to at least 20, maybe even 25% if you're like +4 skills, so it would trigger all the time or pretty regularly. So that could be a really good skill. I do like this Thunder Strike, that works pretty good. A lot of damage there. And I think the Seal of Fate might also be useful because it can lower resistances. I think it's the second part. And 14 reduced resistance, and that'll be a lot higher with more points. The only thing is, the thing you're casted on kind of has to be standing still because it makes like a circle on the ground. If they leave the circle, they're not going to get hit by it. But overall, I do like the Rune class. And this was a self-farm build, so I don't have like any like overpowered items or anything here. You know, you can make this in Act 2, this Razor Claw. And the only set pieces I have were this Erebus set. And I found this after in Act 5. I got that in Act 4. And I did a little bit of farming for some Stonebinder cuffs, but luckily they fell fairly quickly this time. I know sometimes you can spend a few levels trying to get them. And then I switched out to this shield. There are some really nice blue items in this expansion, because normally you don't get a list of stats that long on blues. Not too many anyways, but I noticed there's a lot of blues now with loads of stats, almost like you would find on legendaries. So at least there's an improvement to blues. And I haven't played far enough, right? You know, I don't have a character on Epic, so I haven't really seen any of the new legendaries. So I'm done. I don't know if I'm going to play this character anytime soon. I would like to actually continue it at some time, but I have some other projects to work on. So that's it for this playthrough. There's still a few more things I want to do. There's some more Titan Quest videos I want to do, but they're not going to be coming as regularly because I got some other things to do. But I appreciate you watching my playthrough, and I'll see you again in a future video.